Watch out now. Welcome to Gluality TV, where your glustamony matters. I don't know who you are or where you are in this thing called life, but I want you to know that right where you are, as you are, God loves unconditionally everyone, and it's our duty, live from Gluality TV, to give love unto everyone, even you, even me. That's Glue and Capri, baby. Where the glue out there, glue land? I don't know who you are or where you are in this thing called life, but I want you to know that right where you are, as you are. I don't know if it's Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Jehovah, but whatever is making me over says, let the people know that God loves unconditionally everyone, and it is our duty, live from the patio of peace, condo of compassion, blue land, whatever you want to call it, to give love unto everyone, even you, even me. And thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us today on this live broadcast, one of my last solo vlogs on Facebook Live, because I'm moving over to my YouTube channel. So please take the blue time to join me at That's Blue Baby on YouTube. And I appreciate you in my pinky toe. We got to get some monetization going on here, because I've been doing this long enough for free for about 15. Y'all just got to deal with me with the bees out. It's their world, and I'm just in it trying to be here with you. And time to get some monetizations into my hobby, to my voice, to my gifts that have been given to me and blessed to me. And it was so hard to put a price tag to love, because all I want to do is just give love unconditionally to everyone, and love is free. We're loved right where we are, as we are. We may not be perfect. We may need to work on some things within ourselves, for ourselves, and for those that we're supposed to be here for. Yet and still, we have to own that right where we are, as we are, God loves us too. Okay, no matter what the world has to say about it, no matter what the world tells you, no matter how bad you're doing right now, if you take a moment and breathe and say, I'm worthy of God's unconditional love also. I'm worthy to give love unto everyone. I'm worthy to be loved by God, by someone, by myself. It's Surrender to Self-Love Sunday. So you got to start with loving yourself first. Okay? Love yourself the way you love your God. You are of God, so love yourself in that manner. Hold tight for me one moment. I want to make sure I'm okay over here, because that should go away. Let's see. Thank you. That's what I wanted to make sure of. So I just want you to know that in your imperfections, you're perfect. Just figure out where you need to work on yourself at, and how you need to improve, and be open to improvement. It's okay to change from how you grew up and to do things differently today. Doesn't mean that you're denouncing your traditional family heritage, or you're denouncing your religious background or format. You just see things aren't working for you today as they did yesterday, and it's okay to change how you approach things. It's okay to change how you think. It's okay to change how you feel towards something that you felt differently about yesterday. You are entitled to change, and it's okay. Miss Ariana, what it glue out there, love? How you doing? I appreciate you as always for joining us here on Blue Land, and thank you all for those of you that are joining in over here on StreamYard as well. So know that I want to make this clear. I don't know. I know my A, I know my Z. I had to make it take the blue time to get to know me, which is my B through my Y. Most people don't know who they are in this thing called life, and they're just acting accordingly to how they grew up, or what was taught to them, or what the world say they should do. Most people don't know who they are, what they should do based on how they feel. So I definitely encourage everyone to make it take the blue time to get to know your true blue self, outside of your societal self, which is how you grew up, what you was taught, what your your religious background taught you, what the world said you should be or should not be. It's okay to be free, to be you, to be your total, complete, true blue self. And your true blue self versus your societal self are two different people. Two different people. Not to say that you don't need one to help out the other, and not to say you don't need to let go of some bad things in the societal world so you can have a beautiful world, a more bluer world. And it's not that your blueness can't help you glue up some things in your societal energy that you want to continue. I love women, I love people, but I couldn't be with women, people, however I wanted to be sexually. And that's from my last vlog, and we'll recap you all on that. So I had to relearn how to interact with people, with women, without it being sexually. So I had to find something that I love just as much, which is giving love unto everyone unconditionally. So it is okay to change. It is okay to heal. Let me say this first. It's okay to first you got to deal with your hurts before you heal from your hurts, so your true blue self won't be killed. So I want you all to know, especially if you're in the 60 and up group, our parents groups and our grandparents, it's okay to get caught up to the 21st century with new ideas and new thoughts, because we now have new information. And with information comes expansion of self, of thought, of life, of it's the evolution. With information, there's evolution. So be open to stepping into the evolution of the world. And it's not saying you're wrong, what you were taught didn't benefit you. It's not saying any of that. I'm just asking for people to recognize that the world is not only black and white. There's a lot of gray in between. There's a lot of differences in between. The world is not only heterosexual and homosexual. There's a lot of sexualities in between. There's a lot of energies in between. And if you allow yourself to be your true blue self, you'll find out a lot more about yourself than what you knew, because you're now allowing yourself to be free and to feel and to think and feel for yourself. And that's okay. It's not denouncing where you come from, who you come from, how you came to arrive to where you are. It's not denouncing any of that. It's just saying, I'm surrendering to self love and opening myself up to what I think about myself, what I feel about myself. Who am I underneath all of these societal teachings that have been forced upon me, embedded in me, bred in me, however you want to explain it, however you want to define it? You have to figure out who you are underneath all of the things that you've been taught. And you need to know first that it is absolutely okay to glue-saw your soul. It's imperative that you glue-saw your soul, because who are you living for? Why are you living? And what is the purpose of your life meant for? If you don't know all of that about yourself, you just walking through life existing, living on other people's terms, for other people's reasons, and your reasons, your reason for birth, your purpose for birth isn't being sustained. It's not happening. It's not in the forefront of your journey, because you're living other people's journeys. You're living journeys that you think are yours and feel like it's yours because it's habitually been what you know. That doesn't mean that you can't take a pause, a societal pause for a good cause. And all right, who is Shantandra Capri Mahaffey? What is my purpose in this thing called life? People keep telling me that I have an energy about myself that they will pay to listen to, but I don't want your money like that. I just want to make sure they are all right in their life, that their soul is glued up and they're okay. God, you mean I gotta make money talking and telling people you love them, I love them, that they're worthy of love? That's easy. I could do that in my sleep. Oh, let me find out how to do that first for free, because people, when they come and find love for free and they get there, they want to give you everything. They want to just, I feel like you accept me as I am. I feel like you understand me. And it's like, when you understand, when people are understood where they are as they are, they want to give you everything. They want to be around you all the time. When they see you, they don't know why they laugh, cry, feel the way they feel, whatever it is. For me, that's blue, baby. That's priceless, baby. I can't be paid for that. But being that I have to eat, and my lady got to eat, the dog got to eat, Feel free to drop a cash app at a glue donation at Cash App. That's Glue Baby. And I appreciate you in my pinky toe. For those of you that have made donations this weekend, I appreciate you in my pinky toe. I've been told not to mention names, but Glue Land appreciate those that receive Capri as I am, where I am, and thank you very, very, very much. Um, because this is my full-time gig, and I work at Olive Garden, or I enhance at Olive Garden part time. Olive Garden and I have been together 15 years, feeding the Hampton Roads area and the Forever I Love Atlanta area, and giving love unto everyone is just what my purpose in life is for. And in order to do that from my true blue self and from my blue heart, I had to separate myself from my societal self because my societal energy was drowning out my blue energy. The energy that I naturally have was being spent in the world in negative ways as opposed to being invested in beautiful ways. I wasn't investing my time and my energy on purpose with purpose because I had a group of purpose. I was investing my time and energy because I was trying to get next to somebody or in between somebody. You know what I'm saying? That was my sexual energy. For those of you that are joining me for part two, part one of this series was talking about I have to have pelvic floor therapy. The reasons I have to have pelvic floor therapy at the age of 48 is because of things that started happening to me at the age of 8. Okay, so 40 years later, we have to still deal and heal so our souls won't be killed. Different things are going to show up in our lives to let us know you might have thought you was healed, you might have thought you was glued up, but let me know where you got some foundation falling apart. I don't like to say broken. I like to say dismantle or coming apart because when we use that word, I'm broke. You feel like you can't fix what's broke. You feel like you can't you got this energy tied to broken hearts and broken finances, and I don't like to use those words when I work with people because words matter. So I say your energy's dismantled, your money's not where you want it to be. There's different words that you can use to fill the negative voice of the words that you use today. Words carry energy. So if you tell yourself you're broke, if you tell yourself I'm bored, if you tell yourself I ain't shit, or you tell your kids they ain't shit, they ain't gonna be shit, they just like they daddy, what else do you expect from them? Okay, so words are real. Words can heal or words can kill. And that's just my blue truth. Let me see who this comment is here. And I appreciate you all for joining us here on Facebook Live and over here on YouTube and StreamYard. I appreciate you, and my Facebook page, that's Blue Baby. Let's take a look at some of these comments before I get over here into my confessions and talking about where we are, what's going on in life. Let's see, 2 comments. Let me put you out here. All right, Miss Khadijah. Good morning, Mama C. I appreciate you, Miss Khadijah, for being your true blue self. I'm sending you some blue energy. I see your posts day to day, not every day, but I keep up with you, and I see that things are on a roller coaster, and I want you to know that's life. Life's going to happen. Life's going to be what life's going to be. But how you approach life and your perception, your blue eyes from your blue heart, your blue thoughts, your blue mouth, your blue walk, what you do with your blue hands, that's all up to you. So don't you allow life to tell you who you are, how you're supposed to be, what situation you're supposed to be in. Sit with your true blue self and ask yourself, how do I want to feel? Don't allow your feelings to continue to tell you how to feel. You take ownership of your feelings. Your feelings are real, your feelings are valid. Yet and still, once you accept the realness and the validity of your feelings and you know that they are what they are, ask yourself, is this how I want to continue to feel? After you've dealt with the truth of what's going on with your feelings, sit and assess your feelings and ask yourself, when I get up from this space, how do I want to feel when I go out into the world space? What thoughts do I want to have when I step out into the world? What feelings do I want to carry? What feelings do I want to give? If something's not right, don't just think about one option to correct what's not right or to fix what's not right, to adjust what's not right, whatever word you want to put in that not right. Find the word and sit with it and give yourself as many options as you need to that can help you adjust and glue up that situation. Don't just think about one way. Think about a variety of different answers to the same question so you don't feel like you're locked in. Okay. And Miss Tiara, I see you over here. Miss Tiara, your question yesterday when you said you want to inbox me, that's going to be part 3 of my glue questions and answers for those of you all that are following this series. If you have any questions, answers you want from myself, you have questions about yourself, your journey. I practiced sexual transmutation. I was single for 7 years. I was celibate for 7 years, single for 8, and lived in a hotel, extended stay suburban lives for almost 9 years. So I purposely took the glue time to glue up my true blue self, which was for me not having sex, practicing sexual transmutation, learning how to be intimate without sex, learning how to love myself without needing to be sexually fulfilled over here with other people for gratifications for myself. Um, and if you all want to talk about what it took to the when I said before, I know my A, I know my Z, but I had to make it take the glue time to know me. I know my B and my through my Y. I have a course that's it's the alphabets of me. Who am I? Who do I be? And those questions, I have people go through the alphabets, and with each alphabet, give yourself an adjective to describe yourself. Who are you? Most of us don't know who we are outside of, like I said before, outside of our societal thoughts, traditional thoughts, the way we grew up, the Bible thoughts, religious thoughts, the Quran thoughts, whatever your book is, whatever your religion is, we are those thoughts and we're not thinking for ourselves. Whatever your God is, we're not seeing the God in ourselves. So we sit back and take the time to make it take the due time to get to know our agape selves, our godly selves, our true blue selves, and see how beautiful we are, how great we are, how big we are, and what we have in the world is impactful, and we use that in a positive way as opposed to just existing in life and letting that energy be all out in the world and just living willy-nilly and doing crazy things that really aren't who we are, who we're supposed to be. So whatever questions you have, inbox me, message me, ask me. And good morning to you. I'm gonna read your comment over here too, Niece T. Let me see this other comment over here. Blue morning to you, Mr. Everett. Long time no see. And of course, I'm sending you blue energy to you and your family, sending love, praying, and healing. And you all feel free to send blue energy to each other because you know in Blue Land we're even mirrors. You're here because you also believe that it's our duty to give love unto everyone because God loves unconditionally everyone. Whatever your God is, however you look at God, whatever that religion is for you, in that way of giving, loving thy neighbor as you love thyself, whatever that blueness is. I appreciate you all for being here in Blue Land. Let's get over here to the notes, to the blue comments from Facebook. My niece T says, "Hey Auntie, isn't it funny how you went from co-worker to Auntie? You just give Auntie vibes. Love you." And Giselle says, "Hi." That's Blue Baby. I appreciate you, and I've been told that, and I received that. And if it's not Auntie, it's Mama C, Mama Capri. Miss Capri, you've been told it's Pastor P. My nickname is P. And in the streets, they will call me P, or my family call me P. And P is my personality. So I used to say I was going to be an apostle because I'm just here doing God's work. And they used to, Apostle P. You know, I'm still in the streets. I'm still with the people. Um, I still have a fast life energy, so my nickname Apostle P, Pastor P. You know, I've heard it all, and I appreciate that whatever that glue connection that I've been blessed with, especially with younger folks, to let them know that they're overstood right where they are as they are. That for me is pivotal because I remember being where they are and being by myself and having to figure some things out. And when you go to talk to someone, it falls on deaf ears. They don't know what to say, how to say what they have for whatever reasons. Their emotional constipation isn't open to your emotional diarrhea. So there's a battle there and being heard, not being heard. And that was my household. So I end up being a writer in the home because you could tell I talk. I expel energy. I got to get this out of me. I don't like keeping things inside, and I've never been that way. Don't know why. I'm just thankful that it's in me not to be emotionally constipated. Let me read this. I really like that ABC. I truly have no clue who I am after this separation. And that is, I've been wanting to say what you just said to yourself, but I've learned in growing up that situations sometimes have to reveal yourself to you or people's selves to them, and you can't always say something. You have to let people figure things out for themselves, as I had to figure things out for themselves. And I'm so thankful, Miss Niece T. No, no, I gotta stop calling you Miss Tiara now that we here. Niece T, everything happened to get you to where you are today so that you could learn your true blue self. Look at all the good that you went through to get to where you are. Analyze the bad to understand what happened so you don't repeat what happened. Make the apologies that you need to make for the negatives, the wrongs, the bad, however, whatever words you want to put in there that you contributed to the separation, because it takes two. Okay, in everything it takes two, good, bad, or indifferent. It takes two. Forgive yourself for those negatives. Love yourself for the good that you did put into it and the time that you took to make it work, and accept that I loved the best that I could and it didn't work out. And I'm going to have to be okay with that, because now I'm going to have to open myself up for more love from other people in other ways that I never thought saw coming. Anything, love is a crazy thing, and it'll make you feel as if you don't want to love like this anymore because it hurts so bad. You don't want to love like this anymore because you put all your time into this person. You don't want to love like this no more because goddamn, the world is crazy today, and it's hard to find someone that's gonna love your true blue self outside of the societal self that they fell in love with. Because when they see you outside in the world, people typically don't see your true blue self because they're not viewing you through their blue eyes. Most people today are living through their societal eyes, and when you're walking in your blueness, it's gonna catch them off guard because they not gonna see you as they used to. So know that it's okay to switch up. As you said before, you gonna be who you are, and people gonna have to accept that you are who you are, and you keep being bold in that energy within yourself first, and be okay in yourself not being who you used to be, and being the new Tierra Shavonda, okay? That, and I've been wanting to ask you about Shavonda. I've been wanting to talk about Shavonda, but I recognize when you changed your name over to Tierra Shavonda, I said that baby's shifting. She's re-identifying herself. She's getting back to her true blue self. She's getting that that she needs to deal with whatever bullshit she may be going through. So when you did that, you know, Shantandra Caprima Happy, I am somebody. That's what I say about my name, the difference in my name. And when I saw Tierra Shavonda, I said, all right, girl, I see you. And you were stepping into your People look at black names and long names, ghetto names, like they call them ghetto, they call them hood, they call them, what was your parent thinking when they gave you a name like Shantandra? And it's like, that name is because my family put the letters together and made my name, and that means family love. They poured into me, they took time with it. That means I am somebody. That name has personality. Just because it's intimidating to you, long to you, ghetto to you, whatever to you, that's a name that my family took time to put together to. So yes, you sit down and you write letter by letter. You write your name on the side of the paper. Each letter you write beside it, who is Tierra? Tierra's tough. We know she's tough. Go beyond that. Tenacious T. Figure out the different T's. Go into the dictionary. I'm a dictionary reader. I used to sit and write the dictionary, write the words out, find my favorite words, write the definition, use them in sentences. In school, I used to love when the teacher would give us vocabulary words to take home, and I got to write down the definitions. I'm forever I love Atlanta. I'm like T.I. expeditiously. When words come, it's like, woo, I love them. Now my ADHD and my dyslexia and my Uh, Autism, my learning curves, I don't like to call them disabilities, my learning curves makes it hard to use vocabulary words. Like when I think about them, I want to say them, but they come out wrong. They don't sound right. And my lady be like, "Babe, that's not how you use that word. I know you know what they mean. I get that you know what they mean, but that's not how you use that word." And we'll go over and get a sentence together for me to be able to use the word. Like I want to use resentment today. We're gonna get to this. The topic I was using resentment is what a feeling that I was feeling about what my mom feels when she sees me. And it was like my lady was like, I don't think that's the right words you want to use. Let's keep talking and explain how you want to feel. Well, what are you saying? So when we got to it, we started using the word resentment where it belonged, and she was giving me a order of how to. Um, what was she doing? She was ranking why my relationship with my mom is the way that it is based on my mom's um, growing up. Maybe it's just who she is, how she was raised. Her mental health issues is different. My dad not being there is different reasons that my mom feels the way she feels about me. And we had to rank those in order. And because I kept seeing the resentment of my dad not being there, that's what was standing out to me the most. She was getting me to see that my mom grew up more than likely in an abusive, emotionally physical household. Then her mom died when she was young, so she had to be the caretaker of a lot of the kids, eight, nine of them, and she had to be the overseer, caretaker, big sister to a lot of younger people. Then my dad left, and when she was older, so it's like an order of operation. And then I was born, it's different things. So I had to look at that, the resentment of my dad being there. My lady wanted to rank it, and it wasn't as high as her upbringing. So I was like, I get that. I could dig that. So back to learning yourself, it's okay to be in learning mode every day, especially now that you're in your new mode. I'm going to take this comment down right here. Now that you're in your new mode of living, it is definitely imperative that you learn who you are so that you don't go back to what led you to this separation. It's okay to, like I said before, your societal self and your true blue self. Y'all know the exercise where you make two big circles and they overlap each other. Make a circle, your societal self, your true blue self. What traits in your societal self you want to let go? What traits of your true blue self you want to build? What traits of your societal self you don't want to let go? You're gonna need to help you over here in your true blue self. And I'll give you an example. From my crossover is I had to take the same amount of energy and time that I was spending in my societal self and use that in building my true blue self. So the time and the energy that I was taking in running the streets and having sex, I had to apply that same time to becoming my true blue self. So that was my overlapping. If I became sexually aroused, instead of having sex, let me step over here to my true blue self and figure out what can I do with this sexual energy. Instead of fucking you, I'm a fuck glue. Instead of phoning you, I'm a phone glue. I had to figure out what else I could do with that energy. So some of that negative energy and time, I had to figure out how to positively use it so I wouldn't lose my blue mind. And in order for me to do that, I had to step out of the world completely and move into a hotel. I was tired of moving from place to place, house to house, and I grew up moving a lot. My mom moved around a lot, attempting to move us from I'm gonna be honest, from the black negative areas to the white positive areas. I was definitely, my mom, we grew up where black is wrong and white is right. The hood was the energy that I loved to play in and be in and go run with the kids in. And when I moved over to the white areas, it was few kids to play with. I'm different. I go to white schools. I stand out. I'm different. Um, I'm going. to get up at 6 something in the morning just to go 20 minutes down the road. But because I have to ride 2 to 3 buses to get to the white side of town, my buses go for the black kids from the hood. Then we go to a locale in the middle. We would switch buses. Then we get on another bus, and that bus will take us to our white schools. So for me, I grew up in hindsight, I didn't like it back then. Growing up and being who I am and where I am now, that minority to majority program helped me to be able to sustain and to survive and to live and to leap and to strive and to take off in both worlds. I know how to navigate in both worlds. So for me, it ended up working to my advantage. For my mom, it made her a little upset because I kept liking where we was coming from. I kept going back to red clay and little dirt over here and running away from manicured yards over here. And she couldn't understand why I was infatuated with where we come from. And I'm like, you gotta be careful who you sleep with, because that's where my dad had come from, and I am of my dad. So here we are. So that look that she kept giving me and treating me, you're gonna be just like your dad. You ain't nothing like it. You just like your dad. Is why it was easy for me to say resentment was first. So that's why it's like being blessed with a woman that works in the mental health world and work with young people. She'll often tell me your mind stopped at a certain age because that's where you had to start surviving at. And it's like, okay, I get it. I'm learning. All right. My best friend met me as a 15-year-old running the streets with some kids between the ages of probably 5 and 10, because I just wanted to run and be free and have fun instead of being told not to run, not to get dirty, come inside the house, stop all of that. You're doing too much. Get in here. I was able to be a kid. And let me read over here. Ooh, we need to sit down face to face. I'll pay you. We're probably gonna have to set aside a few hours. Niece T, even family got to pay. I just read that blog, that post the other day, and we would definitely take the new time to make that happen. And I appreciate you for offering to pay. Family and friends isn't typically the ones to offer to pay for business. So I appreciate you and my pinky toe and my everything for overstanding the mission. And we can definitely do that. I want you to go to thatsbluebaby.com and click on appointments and set up some time for us to be able to glue net. And um, that's just a blessing. Ooh, we need to sit down face to face. I'll pay you. We're gonna need a few hours. That says everything. And when on that note, I want to switch over to my confessions. Confession number 4. Let me take a swallow a coffee. Let me check my time. It's 9:39. All right. My lady calls me Nipsey Russell on. If y'all remember back in the day, Nipsey Russell was a comedian, an advocate back in the day, and he was a rhymer in most of his stand up or um, movies. And she said, you just naturally rhyme. And people say, Miss Capri, do you write poetry? Do you know? And I'm like, it's just, that's glue, baby. I can't take no credit for it. It's just a God given glueness that I have about me, that words are just who I be. And here we are on the patio of peace, and let me speak my peace. Um, Confession number 4. Let me say again before I start. Now that I'm 48, I understand that my parents were young at the time that they had me, when they had me, and they had their own situations going on in their life that allowed their situations to be what they were. And it was their situations and not mine. Yet I was impacted by their journey, and this is my blue truth based on that journey. Today, my dad and I are copacetic, we're cool. It's still an unsaid thing there, but we talk a lot deeper than my mom. It's still some things about my dad I want to get to know, things about me he wants to get to know. So we spend time together, we have those conversations, and we're not afraid to have them. We just talk and see that, baby, can I ask you a question? I'm like, Dad, go ahead. What's up? And it took me a while. I just started calling him Dad in the last 3 years. Okay. So getting to that point of, What's up, Dad? It's like, what you gonna ask me now? And he'll simply say, are you gonna ever let your hair grow back? And I'll just simply say, once again, I'm just asking you, are you ever just gonna love me for me? Be. So we can ask questions, we just open for the answers. So we have those conversations. He'll just laugh and say, ooh, you are my child. And then we'll just go on because just like my dad's gonna be who he's gonna be, I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be. But being that we're open to those conversations is beautiful. We don't have to ride in the car for hours or sit at a table for hours quietly, which brings me over to my glue mom. My mom is the bluest provider ever. I never had to want for anything, always had a roof over my head. If I wanted to go back and live at home right now, I could. Let me say, if I want to go back and live at her house right now, her home right now, which is a house to me, I could, but I won't. And the part for me that feels that way is because in my mom's home, and it's still a house to me, I don't feel completely Chantal Capri me. I have to walk on eggshells because everything has to be as my mom wants it to be for her to be happy. And in that happiness for her, my soul is emotionally constipated. So it's it for me not to be emotionally constipated, I can't stay there. And I've recognized that from now on going home, there's some things that I need to do for myself to make sure that I'm emotionally regular so I don't go back to a place of feeling as if I'm being emotionally or physically abused. Um, we was talking before about my mom growing up in an abusive household, y'all know we black. People want to associate being black with being whooped, beat, hit, slapped, spanked. If the slave owners did it to us, it went on down from there. So, is that Al? Maria, I love you. I miss you. Hey, girl, where did Glue, Al? Oh man, when I come home, we have got to get together, spend some time with each other, man. I miss you. That's Glue, baby. Thank you for joining us here today in Glue Land. And growing up, black people learned to me how to abuse each other through slavery. And we made it okay to say beating our kids is okay, slapping our kids is okay, talking to our kids, cursing at our kids is okay, talking to them sideways is okay, punishing them because they exist is okay, punishing them because somebody else did something to us. The daddy left. So let me beat my child and raise my child emotionally disconnected because the dad left me. Whatever that thing is in the black community, we've accepted it to be okay. And it's not okay. Not getting therapy because of what happened to us as children is not okay. Not talking about mental illness, mental health situations in our culture is not okay. So for me, growing up in my mom's household, she did what she knew to do, which was to be slave master, like a mom. And from my understanding, my grandmother was abusive to the kids and my granddad. So now a couple of my family members repeated that to the children. The children repeated that to their children. When I became pregnant, I had a miscarriage. But when I was pregnant, I vowed not to raise my child that way. I vowed not to leave my child alone with my mom. And when my mom said to me when I was pregnant, I'm not going to be a grandmother. Don't expect me to. Um, it was a lot of hurt. It was some hurtful things. So I knew not to bring my kid around my grandmother. And going through the miscarriage and my mother not being emotionally there, emotionally available, I didn't know what it was at the time, but I had to learn that my mom's emotional fortitude was not there to fulfill my emotional diarrhea. It doesn't mean it didn't hurt. It doesn't mean that some things in my life I didn't do because of that emotional emptiness. It doesn't mean that um, I was emotionally disconnected for some time, and I had to learn how to reconnect emotionally to friends, to men without having sex, to women without having sex, to family members that are good to me, but committed to my mom. So they wouldn't be on my Facebook Live. They wouldn't be on my Facebook timeline because their loyalty is with my mom because she practically raised them. So I had to look at situations differently. And let me get back to how things were growing up. Confession number 4. I used to, Fago root beer used to be one of my favorite drinks back in the day, and it was a treat. And my mom sleeps in her room. I slept in my room. Now, keep in mind, by this time, I had to be between the ages of 13 and 15, peeing in a Fago root beer bottle in my bedroom and hiding it in my closet and not pouring it out until the next morning when it was okay to be about the house and going to use the bathroom and not waking up in the middle of the night, waking up my mom to be fussed at, to be hit, to whatever the situation was. So peeing in bottles and cups became a norm. There was one time, unfortunately, in my ADHD mind, my autistic mind, that I got up the morning and didn't pour it out and left it in the closet. And it was left in the closet for some time. And because um, I didn't have to go to the bathroom every night, so it wasn't an every night occurrence. But if there was a night that I had to go, I had a cup by hidden to where I would use it. And there was a time that I left the cup. My mom found the cup, the Fago root beer bottle in the bathroom, and she asked me why was I peeing in a bottle, as opposed to hearing what I was telling her. What I was telling her upset her, which put me in a place of physical and emotional abuse again. So instead of hearing me say, Mom, I'm scared to go to the bathroom at night because you're going to fuss at me. I don't want to wake you up because you're going to fuss at me. You're going to hit me. So I'm peeing in the bottle. So because I called it out and said something because I said something to her that was calling her out. And it's like, I'm not calling you out. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying it is what it is and this is what's happening. But because to her, it was putting in her face what it is that's going on in this household, and she wasn't in a place of hearing it and accepting it. Once again, I'm being yelled at or hit. And now I got to go off to school hit, emotionally distraught, which is why I always um, um, music saved lives. When I say headphones, and I tell you all, I've always had headphones in my ears because that was my escape. Riding the bus, listening to music, being in the room with headphones on, writing, it was just me being able to get away from what was going on at home, leading me to one of the another confession. I used to write letters about how I felt about my situation at home. And in writing those letters, I will hide those letters also. And in hiding the letters in a folder in a book in the closet, once again, my mom moving things around the house, straightening up the house and organizing the house, which is another issue that we had, which made me look in hindsight. I feel like my mom either has OCD, and the kids, when I used to work with kids in the mental health hospital, Miss Capri, you got OCD, over controlling disorders. And I used to say, okay, am I like that, like my mom? Am I, the military gave order. I grew up in order. All I know is order and how to be. Um, One thing I will say, my mom raising me and overseeing me and making sure I didn't get too far out of pocket, and it helps keep a nice home, clean home. I'm clean and presentable when I go out in the world. So a lot of those negative teachings had positive outcomes, but those negative teachings and demonstrations of emotional constipation also had outcomes that we have to talk about in our community that we don't talk about. And being the voice in my family, the face in my family. I used to be the letter writer in my family, and for Christmas, I would be the one giving out letters to the family of the dysfunction in the families and why we're not talking about what's going on and why are you talking about such and such person, but y'all could be in each other's faces and laugh. And I would be that person. And my lady would say, she said, that was your autism. That was your um need for things to be correct and perfect and function a way for you to be at peace, and you calling all the adults out on their stuff, they ain't trying to hear that from you. So that cause the family, they either love me or they are away from me, because I'm always one to say, I don't talk trivial talk. Don't talk about such and such a person when you're with me. And then I see you laughing with them, because that's gonna make me look at you sideways. And then I'm gonna be different with you, because what do you do when you're not with me? I saw that young. I felt that young. For those of you that are over here on Facebook, I appreciate you for coming in and for joining us. For those of you over here on YouTube and StreamYard, thank you for staying in here. If you want to make a donation to Glue Land, to Even Mears of Glue Land, to myself, uh, Cash App, that's Glue Baby, and the money goes back to the world. It goes back to buying paints to paint artwork. You all haven't seen the paintings lately, but I'm still painting for those that I work with in the community to glue up. I'm still going out to different schools, giving speeches, working with young people, gluing up their lives where they are. I don't show everything, but trust and believe, Glue and Capri are gluing up the world where we can. And thank you ahead of time for your glue donations. Let's get back. So writing, my mom found the letters. Finding the letters, she asked the same question. She's reading it. She's seeing and hearing what I'm saying about her. And it's like, as emotional as I talk, as empathetic as I talk, as truthful as I talk, the letters had all of that in it. As opposed to hearing and feeling what I was saying, I end up again being emotionally and physically abused for writing the letters. Who are you to write this and to say this about me? Who are you to this? And you're getting hit. So it's like, man. And this last time that I went home for Christmas, it was a situation where I'm in the back seat with my mom, my brother's up front. He's yelling at me because I'm talking with my uncle and I'm not leaving when they want to leave. And the way he yelled at me said, this is deeper than this moment. Something's not right. But what we're not going to do right here, bruh, you're not going to yell at me. What's the issue? Then when my mom yelled at me and she's in the back seat, and the way she threw herself at me and came at me and looked at me like that, I instantly in that moment thought that I'm about to be hit again by my mom. And I'm trapped between this energy with her and this energy with my brother up front. And it's like, that's why I stay in Virginia. That's why I don't come home. I don't like this feeling anymore, and I'm not going to subject myself to this energy anymore. I wish that these two would talk to me and tell me what it is that I did so viciously to whatever get this energy back. What is it that I've done? Why the resentment? Why the anger? And I'll give my life and love both of them beyond my overstanding still, but it's something that keeps them at bay with me, and I don't know what it is. And I would love to know what it is. I would love to go to family therapy. I would love to have conversations and glue things up. But like most Black families, everybody just wants to shut up and not talk about what it could take to really truly glue us up, because the vulnerability people don't want to feel, because they don't know what it's like to feel healed. They don't know what it's like to not have the angst in them that a number of Black people feel that if we open up to what hurt us, it's going to make us collapse. We're going to die. And we are going to die. The societal self is going to die, and your true blue self is going to live, because you're giving yourself permission to heal and deal. So your soul won't be killed. But you have to be open for that. And if you can say and talk about the most grotesque thing that's ever happened to you, talk about the most hurtful thing that ever happened to you, the most grotesque, hurtful thing you've ever done, if you can talk about that and get that out, there's no reason in this world that you can't really shout. Okay, if you want to go into church and shout and be all about your Jesus and your religion, you are of God too. So why not get to know your true religion? Who are you up underneath it all? Why not get the shouting about being emotionally regular instead of being emotionally constipated or emotionally diarrhea? There is an emotional balance, and I had to work to find that out for myself. But I had to deal with my emotional constipation and my emotional diarrhea. So it's not a bad thing to open ourselves up to dissipating the negative energy from ourselves and glucose in our souls. And I wish more of us was okay with that, because if we allow ourselves to heal, I promise you the ripple effect goes further than we can ever imagine. These kids out here that are killing each other right now, I promise you it ain't just about today. It's not. Women still being in abusive situations today that they're not supposed to be in. It's not just about these last 100 years. It goes back. We are reaping the negatives of what was sown years ago, but we have to do something today so that generations ahead of us can be glued up and live their true blue lives, as opposed to repeating the generational cycles that we're constantly okay with letting go by. Because when we open up our mouths and we talk, you looked at like, who the fuck you think you are? And that's not cool. Because how much longer are we going to be the world's fool, society fool, the devil's fool, however you want to look at it, the negative energy in the world's fool? How much longer are we going to allow ourselves to rolling, rolling on a river? We're going to keep rolling this way? No, we got to change the flow of the river and go in a different direction, because we're worthy. We deserve it. These kids deserve it. These kids are having kids. And if the cycle keeps going where great grandmama beat grandmama, grandmama beat daughter, daughter beat daughter, now daughter's beating her daughter, it's going to keep going. Daddy beating, daddy leaving, and granddaddy leaving, it's going to keep going. So at what point in the game, Nanette, I miss you. I haven't seen you. I love you. Hello to you and your boys and everything, your young men. And yes, Albie, avoided the interaction by any means necessary, because for me, that's not how I wanted to be. That's not the energy I wanted to move in, live in, sleep in. And you can't sleep because you got one eye open, because you just don't know what's going to be. So and once again, when you can't get emotionally fed at home, be you grown, be you young, whatever, you're going to go somewhere else to get those emotional feedings. And those emotional feedings in the world aren't always good. So be mindful. If you have children in your life, be mindful that you're teaching them what you know. And they're going to go out in the world, and everything that they are, somehow, some way, it's going to show. It's going to come out. And what do you want to be represented of you? And luckily for me, even now, I had to say to myself, when I was setting up Facebook and MySpace years ago, I had to be true to myself. 15, 16 years ago, MySpace, A Day in the Life of Capri. When I was setting up my page 16 years ago, which means I was 32, I still was sitting back, like many of us that grew up in the conservative times that we did. What my mama gonna say? What my family gonna say? Who, what people go say? Because I'm the exact opposite of glue when I'm out in the world. Y'all would have had a whole different type of timeline living up here. Some of y'all would have still been here because you like that side. Some of y'all wouldn't be here because it doesn't go with your religiosity. So I don't know where it would have fallen. So I had to sit with myself and say, God, I know the God in me, and whatever is out there that's governing this whole atmosphere, what do I want for myself on the last day when I take my last breath, and how am I going to be? I don't want to be living for nobody else outside of the two of us. So what does that look like? What is that going to be? Because this gloom, this energy that the world keeps telling me that I done been around the world, going to Saudi Arabia, getting off the plane to go fight for my country, and you hear somebody scream your name, and I'm like, who is this? What's going on? Is Saudi somebody? Know what? And it's like, okay, it's like that. Go to Germany, go to any area. It's like, and it's okay, God, it's something in me that's supposed to be out in the world. I don't know what it is. I don't want to mess that up for whatever you gave me breath for. And I don't want to mess that up for when people remember me. So what am I going to do? What, let me show this comment right here. Chester in my pinky toe, I appreciate you for always supporting Blue and Capri, who I am, who I be, right where I'm at in all of my Blue energy. I thank you, thank you, thank you. Miss Natalie, girl, I was talking about your pool yesterday to my honey dip. Once I find out what has me breaking out in these hives and everything, when we were at the beach, we was talking about your pool. And when I got hives over on me again, so when we figure out what's going on here with me, I'm definitely coming to take a swim. And I appreciate you for accepting me as I am and inviting me to your home with your blue kids. Um, Let me see. We was talking about the Fago root beer bottle I used to pee in, so I wouldn't wake my mom up in the middle of the night because I was afraid. We was talking about confession number 5, I believe, was letters my mom found. Let me take a look here to see what confession number 5 was. Uh, and for yourself, just sit down with yourself. What confession, not confessions, whatever you need to make for yourself to um, not rectify your past. There's no regrets about my past. Everything happened to get me to my glue todays. So I'm thankful for them, even the bad, because through my bad, I'm able to help someone glue up what they have going on in their life. So I'm thankful for that. I'm trying to see what my confessions, my next one is. Sometimes I feel like these glasses are doing, see more confessions. Let's see. At the age of 48, I still fear my mom and expect to be hit. We talked about that. Uh, During sleep hours, I would urinate, and at the age of number 6, but it's number 5 as a oh, okay. So we basically talked about all the confessions today. Using the restroom overnight in a cup or a bottle, and my mom finding it. And oh, so let's talk about it. Let's get real. That's why I'm having to have pelvic floor therapy today. And actually, the pelvic floor therapy has to be put off for a month because they're behind, they're booked up, which to me, I didn't know if that was good or bad because it made me think about the other women that are having to have um, pelvic floor therapy from either having a baby and their pelvic area being torn, or um, sexual abuse. You know, those are the 2 reasons that the lady was giving me trauma that my Dr. Coleman from TPMG was telling me about for the reasons I needed to have pelvic floor therapy. And for me, that's why this healing process was intense, because I was having to have to deal with my childhood of growing up in the home, being afraid of physical and emotional abuse. Then I had to deal with the sexual abuse that happened outside the home, and the survival modes that I put myself in to live, to survive. And being in the military, when you go off, or just having a job, period, and you only have a break at a such and such time, and you got to hold your urine until that break time so you won't get docked for whatever. You know the work world, which is why I hate working for people. Um, so for me, over the years, I've learned how to hold my bodily functions longer than I should have, longer than I should. And now, even in the night that I know this, when I'm asleep, I'm get up, go to the bathroom instead of laying here holding it. I will sleep and hold it all night. Number one now, because but number two now, because I'm just too tired to get up. I don't want to get up. I don't want to break my sleep. I barely sleep as is. But I've been trained to just lay there and hold it until it's light outside. Really, let's go back. Until I hear my mom walking around and know that she's up. If she's up, let me listen a little bit to hear if music is playing, if it's not playing, if it's playing, what kind of music is playing, how loud is the music, can I hear her talking, what's her energy like, what is the vibe like in the house before I go outside my room. So even though you got that first morning pee built up in you, you still got to go pee. You got a few pees in you, but you got to analyze the situation before you step out of your safety. So that's how come today I have to have pelvic floor therapy, and to um, um, retrain my brain to be in connection with my uterus, with my anus. I gotta think to my doctor. What brought us to this point was my doctor didn't want me to. I just had anal fissure surgery. For those of you that are following me and know, I just had anal fissure surgery. It was my third time getting Botox. I told my rectum when I was in Saudi Arabia in 1996, and it pisses me off that I'm still being denied for medical benefits. Um, I want to make sure we got that coming in. We got that coming in. We got that coming in. Thank you all for all of your comments. I appreciate you, my pinky toe. Yes, to detect her mood, girl. Even it's still that way today, which is why I can't stay there anymore. When we was in that backseat in the car, and my mom's face was right here, and I'm leaning back, not knowing what, and I was 47, and I'm just sitting here in me once again. I was an adolescent, and I'm just like, what's about to happen? What's going on? If she hits me, if she does something, how am I going to respond? I'm here, we in front of my family, but we in the backseat of the car, so really can't nobody see anything but my brother. And it's like, it's just this energy and my gluenergy. And it's like, nah, I can't do this anymore. So when I got home, I probably didn't speak to my mom and my brother for 2 days, and I stayed in the room. And once again, I was tiptoeing back out to go to the restroom to see the temperament of the house. Let me see for a minute what it is and what it ain't, because I don't want to be in this part. And in the end, before leaving to come back home, because I had separated myself so much, the day before going home, my mom broke the ice by saying, "Do y'all want to play sorry? Do you want to play?" And that was my mom and I, when I was with her, her energy breaker was us playing sorry, Monopoly growing up. And that would be our way of spending time together. Other than that, or eating dinner. If we eat dinner, we're quiet at the dinner table. Um, Playing sorry was her way of connecting with me in her way. So I learned that growing up, when my mom asked to play a game, that's her way of saying, let's spend time together. And it's like, okay, she's not what I am and what I need, yet and still I'm going to meet her where she's at, because that's my mama. I always love my mama, no matter what. The most abusive child is going to always love their mama, because that's who we come from. That's where we come from. My lady and my mom, my lady, my best friend, they don't understand it, but I just can't always say that that's my mama, you know. But I had to learn to set boundaries for myself, which is why I left home and moved here 16 years ago. But let's get back to it. Um, Sitting in the back of the car, we're in this energy. My mom broke the ice playing sorry. When she brought the game out to play sorry, I heard a yell from my brother to her, in the tone in which he was talking to her fucked my soul up, because how can you talk to our mother this way, and it, you think it's okay? And we're 10 years apart. So I'm the Medicaid kid, he's the good insurance kid. And how are you talking to her like that? But I couldn't say anything, because that's your relationship. Because if I had said something, it would have came back on me from both directions. So, and they would have made it okay that that's how they do what they do. But nigga, no, you don't talk to our mom that way. That's what I was thinking at that moment. Like, who is this nigga talking to my mama like that? That's my brother still, but that's our mama. Okay, so it was like, what? And I just made myself stay in the room that I was in, and I just listened to them. I said my prayers internally. I glued myself up internally. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do right now in this moment in time? Because my mom is doing what she do, and she's attempted to glue us up before I leave this house tomorrow. She's trying to make this a home before I leave this house tomorrow. So what am I going to do in my true blue self to make this okay? Am I going to say no, or am I going to say yes? And of course, being who I am, I said yes. Let's go play sorry. We'll go play sorry. Because if this was the last day I spent with my mom, I wouldn't want me telling her no and denying her that feeling. I'll deal with myself and my thing later. I wouldn't want to deny her that moment. So yes, we're gonna go to the table. We're gonna play. We played sorry. We played another card game. My brother brought out bananas or banana split, and we played. My brother and I ended up going to his friend's house. We chilled. We smoked. We talked indirectly about what happened. We said our apologies, But still in me, I knew I couldn't repeat that process of staying at that address when I come back home. And my brother and I haven't spoken since I left home. My mom and I, we talk, but she's gotten to the point to where I'm not the same person, and we aren't. So I say set boundaries. Do what you have to do. It hurts when you talk about your story. The people that are involved in your story aren't going to always be okay with you telling their portion of the story that involves them. Everybody has a version of their story, but you still tell your story. Um, I need to read some of these comments, and this is just my testimony and where I'm at. I don't like the way things are, but they are as they are, and I have to be as I am, which is so blue and so loving and want to be so open and so talkative. And my family don't deal with therapy. They don't talk about what's going on. We don't talk about family secrets. We don't talk about nothing but Walmart, Goodwill, um, going out to eat. We talk about surface shit, and if you're that part of the family, and if your family's like that, I challenge you to go deeper. I really, really do. Let me read some of these blue comments over here before I get up out of here and go get ready for work. Good morning. I broke the cycle. My mother abused her and could not. That's Deborah Webster. Good morning, Good morning, Miss Deborah. Abused her and could not do that to my children. Here today, she still don't talk to me. She have not seen my children. Of course, the comments are moving. She has not seen my children. I left home when I was 15. I ran away from home. The first time I ran away from home, I was 15. And I went to go live with my aunt for some time. And the second time I ran away from home, I ran off to college that I wasn't ready for. I ended up flunking out of college. I stayed in college for a year, and my learning curve abilities, my ADHD, my autism, my emotional hurts, everything was all over the place in my college year. And I'm 18. I'm free from home. I'm drinking. I'm sexing. I'm in Florida. My family don't know I'm in Florida. I'm out there, and that was that. So I flunked out of college. And then the third time I ran away from home was like 19, and I went off to the military, to the Air Force, because I just had to get away. And I didn't know at the time that I was destined to be my true blue self. I was destined to just go and be something differently than how I grew up in that emotional constipation. I was not supposed to be that person. I'm supposed to be free, bold, and right here with you today. So that running away was just me saying, this ain't for me. I got to go. And if that's how your soul feel, it's okay. Think about where you're going before you just run away. But it's okay to get away and go. Let's see. Family. I can see somebody saying family secrets kill. You are strong, black, beautiful queen. Lolita, I love you. And right back at you. Thank you, love. This is healing. Thank you, Scarborough. You already know how I do, baby. Thank you. I'm glad you're here for today. And whatever healings you all need in your life, I pray that you do get healing through Glue and Capri. That's my only purpose in this world. As I get it, I give it. And I'm putting myself out because I know that there's other people that need to glue themselves up as well. There's no need to be ashamed or hurt or feel any way about what we've been through because we made it through. And a lot of things that's on us wasn't put in us by us, but it's on us to glue ourselves up. So that's what I'm here for. Let's see here. Natalie, question for you and your followers. Give me one word that would that you would describe your physical appearance, and one word to describe personality, and one word to describe where you are emotionally right now in just one word. Big fun growing. Glue. That's glue, baby. That's how come I said that in the beginning. Glue. I'm just glue, baby. Personality, glue. I want to glue myself to you. I want you to glue yourself. Just glue, baby. I give love unto everyone. Glue. That's it. Only when people say Capri, that's Capri, baby. You ain't got to talk about me. I'm just a glue person. I just want to give love unto everyone. I am love. And there are times that my love is too much for people. I'm bold, and that is too much for people. I'm honest. too much for people. I'm straightforward, too much for most people. So I had to learn where to put all of that I am, which is here in Glue Land. So I appreciate you, Natalie, for putting that question out to people, to Glue Land, the even mirrors of Glue Land. Y'all feel free to answer the questions. Who are you in one word? Let's go. Donna Perry says, family secrets keep you sick. I'm going to go over here to the computer because it keeps sliding back. Hold on one second. Family secrets keep you sick. Let's see if I can read this over here. Technology is not always our best friend. It's like a bittersweet frenemy. Miss Deborah, what you telling me? What you telling me? Of course that computer wants to trip over here. Thank you all for responding to the video and liking it and loving the video. Let me see. Miss Deborah, we're going to get this right now. Family secrets keep you sick and evolve into generational curses until someone breaks the cycle. That's real. And for me, I chose to be the one word for happiness. Thank you, Miss Deborah, for participating. I choose to pretend to be, hold on, stop over here. Let's get back over here to StreamYard. I choose to be the one to break the cycle. And those of us that are cycle breakers, we aren't always the most favorable person in the family. That don't mean that you don't continue to attempt to break those cycles. Okay, the family don't always like you because you are the one that wants to be the glue. Most families just want to keep things as it is, don't talk about what's going on. This is family business, you keep it family business. But if it's family business, we in the black. Literally, we in the black. Oh, it's Black Friday. We're in the red. Red means what? Negative. I don't want to be in the. Are we in the black means good, or we in the black? We in the red. Whichever one. We in the negative. The irony, Capri, is that her game of choice is sorry, girl. I won't even go. Woo, you can play the game, but you can't say it. And I even teach young people, don't say you're sorry, because sorry is it could be demeaning as a negative. I'm sorry, I ain't shit. I did bad. I apologize for. I apologize for disrupting your life with my mess. I apologize for loving you how I knew how, but not giving you what you needed. And when I saw what you needed, not being able to give it to you. Let's go to therapy. There's a different way. When you say I'm sorry, unfortunately people do it again. Oh, my bad, I'm sorry. So it takes away the behind what I apologize could mean. So I do, when I work with young people, I do teach them not to say I'm sorry, simply because it's hard for people to say I'm sorry because of the connotation that the world has on it. I fucked up, I'm a bad person, I did wrong. And if you have to play with your mind and play with yourself, I apologize for. Apologize to yourself first, then apologize to those people that you hurt, misled, disrupted, whatever the word is, in your societal self. And let them know that if you can right that wrong, you want to. If you can't, you can't, but let's move forward. And it's a lot easier said than done, but it can be done easier than what people think it can be. It's not going to kill you. You're not going to die and fall right here if you say, oh, I apologize for beating you and hitting you because I was mad at your dad for leaving me. It's okay to admit that that was the situation. I apologize for hitting you because my mom used to hit me. It's okay. To the man, to the woman, I apologize for leaving you with that child and not telling you that I was married. My dad, I apologize. And my dad did that. It took time. And when I let him know what it was, he did that. So whatever the easy, and men are different than women. Men get off easier than women. Women raise the kids, so that energy kind of sits there with the women a little bit more than the fathers, because the fathers was able to be out there in the world, go live their life, and the mom was here left to raise the child. So mom has a lot more emotional baggage to unpack. So I get that, and always being as overstanding as I am made my best friend wonder, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, how do you keep allowing your mom to do this? And you're 30 something years old and you still come home to Atlanta, stay at your mom. She didn't understand it. I'm like, that's still your mom. I understand my mom's journey. I know from where she came. I've heard stories. I've seen. My mom's mom died when she was 16. So that part for me, that's like, and my brother dad died when he was about 3. So that overstanding gloonergy part of me was always empathetic to what's going on. So I would be a young kid saying, Mama, why are you hurt? Why are you mad at me? What did I do? I would ask the question, but asking those questions, who do you think you are? So I recommend therapy. Let me see. Looks like a divine message. If your mom is 70 plus, her generation is named the solid generation. You're absolutely right. And it continues. What saddens me today is to hear these young kids telling their stories, sharing their stories, talking about mental health. But the old heads are talking about everybody got a mental health issue now. Everybody want to put a name on something now. Everything ain't mental health issues. And it's like, I'll be damned if it ain't. The old heads don't want to hear, the solid generation don't want to hear about mental illness and what's going on. These young people today are talking about, hey, Miss Capri, you got a therapist for me? I need to go talk to somebody. Miss Capri, can I come talk to you? Because something ain't right with me. I feel like I got autism too. Like I feel like I can't conquer something because I can only think so far. These young people are bold with it, and I'm thankful for it. So old heads, solid generation, and I'm gonna say even the 40 and up crew. When I see my fellas out here, Sheldon, I'm gonna have to tag you in this message. When I see the parents and black men, especially going to therapy, oh, it does my blue heart good, good, because therapy is imperative for everyone. But post-traumatic slavery disorder, black folks, we need therapy. It's okay to go get therapy to help us unpack 400 plus years of this generational thinking that we have, that it's okay to beat a kid straight to make them think straight when there's really something going on in their mind that a belt ain't gonna get straight. You know, it ain't about a belt. It ain't about an extension cord. It's not about you slapping them. And when I had adults around me saying to me, P, I don't know why your mama hit you the way that she do. I don't know why she treats you the way she do. When I start hearing the adults say that, it made me feel even better within myself. Like, okay, so it ain't just me. Then when I heard my mom say, my kids didn't give me no problem, but her trophyism in that is because she had controlled us and under the thumb and all of that to make us not give her any problems. Okay, but the problems that we did not give her, I didn't give her, the world had other type of problems for us to go out there to go get into. Okay, and I got into them, negative, bad, and indifferent. And we'll talk. That'll be part. We're gonna, I don't know how, 3 or 4 of this series, because I see the questions and answers coming in, and I want to make sure that I'm able to allow you all to ask your blue questions and I give you my blue answers. But I am gonna have to get ready to go because I've been on here hour and 15 minutes, which for me that's blue baby, because you all are still here. So I appreciate you and my pinky toe for still being here. Share this blue blog post with yourself, your family, with your timeline, and let everybody know that it's okay to blue saw your souls of what happened to us from generations ago, so that we can have some beautiful todays. No more hitting, beating, and slapping on kids. No more sexually abusing our kids in the family and not talking about it, not being sexually abused outside of the family. You can't come and talk to your family about it. It's Let's bring the villages back on purpose, with purpose, because we have a beautiful purpose. I swear in my soul we do. And thank you all for listening to me. That's the hardest word, people, to some people. Sorry, it is. It really, really is. And it's because somebody hasn't said it to them. They haven't heard it from someone else. So why should I say it? And if we say I'm sorry, it just makes you I'm so fucked up as a person. I'm so belittled as a person. I'm such a sorry ass individual. That's the mindset that people have when they say, I'm sorry. That's why I urge you to be mindful of your words, be mindful of your energy. All words have energy. I apologize for. To my true blue self, I apologize for allowing my societal self to drown you out. Start there first. I don't know who you are, where you are in this thing called life, but I want you to know that right where you are, as you are. I don't know if it's Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Jehovah, but whatever is making me over says, let the people know that God loves unconditionally everyone, and it is definitely our duty on this Surrender to Self-Love Sundays to give love unto everyone, starting with our true blue selves, even you, even me. I love you. Thank you, and you have a blessed day too, Miss Donna. Thank you over here on StreamYard, Blue Land, on Facebook. I appreciate all of you and my pinky toe for being here with me today and for allowing me to blue salt my soul with you in such a beautiful way. I love you. Be blessed, and that's Blue Baby. You have a beautiful day too, Miss Deborah. And don't forget, oh, I'm wrong everywhere. Hold on. Don't forget to please visit that'sgluebaby.com and sign up for your glue interview today. Click on online appointments, book your appointment. If you would like a glue consultation about sexual transmutation, if you like a glue consultation about how to become your true glue self, if you like a glue consultation about how to take your past and turn it into your brand, we can have that conversation as well. And if you like to excuse me, make a cash donation to That's Glue Baby, cash app $ That's Glue Baby, and we appreciate you all in our pinky toes, and those that I serve out here in the Hampton Roads area appreciate you as well. That's Glue and Capri, baby. I love you. I love you. Have a beautiful day. My lady says she hates when people do that. That's so condescending. I'm like, well, baby, I'm just saying I love you. Have a good day. I'm going to touch my glue hard. Have a glue day. I love you, Glue Land. Be blessed.